Hello, my beautiful friends, and welcome back to the Manifest and Chill podcast. I'm Tracy Fatacek, and we're in week 3 of our Sacred Slowdown series for the month of December. But today, we're going to step out of seasonal energy for a minute because something has been burning in my chest for the last several days. So, 2 research studies landed in my inbox within hours of each other, and they confirmed what I've been saying loudly for years. And honestly, I wanted to screenshot them and send them to every person who's ever rolled their eyes when I talked about the mentorship gap in corporate America. Because this is why you're burnt out. This is why you're exhausted and angry as a high-achieving woman. And this is why 45% of businesses are now female-owned. And this is why I launched Manifest and Chill after exiting my 7-figure tech company. So grab your coffee and settle in, because we're going to be validating every frustration you've ever felt about being everyone's mentor while having nobody mentor you. Let me paint you a picture. It was Friday morning, and I'm sitting in my kitchen in the suburbs of Chicago, coffee in hand, as I always do. Love the Chobani peppermint flavored creamer, when 2 messages hit my inbox within an hour. First, my friend Sean sends me a study on women and workplace mentorship. And the study, you can search and find it. It's from leanin.org. Then, a couple days later, I'm talking with my daughter, and we were talking about another report and a lived experience that her friends are going through right now. And this one is on burnout rates among senior women in corporate and entry-level women. Different sources, different organizations, same conclusion. Women are burning out at an unprecedented rate because they're giving massive amounts of mentorship. And you ready for the plot twist on this one? And receiving almost none in return. And I just sat there thinking, well, I've been living this data for years, not just experiencing it. I've been watching it quietly dismantle brilliant women one by one. And here's something the headlines don't always say clearly enough. This isn't affecting all women equally. Women of color, especially Black women in senior roles, they're reporting even higher levels of burnout, job insecurity, and lack of sponsorship than women overall. Meaning, the women already carrying more pressure, more scrutiny, and fewer safety nets, well, they are also being asked to give more with even less support. And I always say, context fucking matters, and that context matters. Because what these studies don't fully capture, although I appreciate the studies coming out, is they do not fully capture the lived experience. What it actually feels like when you are the person everyone leans on, but no one is holding you. When you're busy mentoring 12 different people at work, while your own manager barely knows or notices your own goals, and when you're solving everyone else's problems while your own career stalls, and when you're holding emotional space for an entire team, which is, by the way, what a great leader does, but then the opposite end, you're burning out in silence. I lived this, and it nearly broke me. And now I see it mirrored in almost every woman I coach. So today, I want to explain why you're pissed off, why your anger makes sense, why this pattern is accelerating. And we always want to give you a takeaway, what you can do before you become another burnout statistic. Because here's the truth, most workplaces won't say out loud. The current system isn't broken. It's working exactly as it's designed. And it's designed to extract everything you have while giving you very little back. Let's start with the numbers, because numbers do not lie. According to leanin.org research, women receive significantly less mentorship and sponsorship than their male counterparts. And here's the part that matters. We're still expected to provide more. Women are 50% more likely to be asked to mentor a junior employee, 70% more likely to be tasked with emotional labor, team dynamics, and office quote-unquote glue work, which if you work in corporate or you ever have worked in corporate, you know what that looks like. And consistently assigned invisible work that keeps organizations functioning, but it doesn't lead to promotions. And when you layer race on top of that, women of color are A, less likely to receive sponsorship, B, less likely to be advocated for. Well, then guess what? Here's the math. C, more likely to experience burnout and job insecurity, even at senior levels. Meanwhile, men receive more strategic mentorship, more sponsorship, and more advocacy at senior levels. So I want to reflect this back to you. Women mentor more and are mentored less. Think about that for a second. Okay, let's go to the next one. Women carry more emotional labor, but they receive less support. Women solve more problems while fewer people are invested in their growth. And for women of color, this imbalance is often even sharper. So of course you're fucking angry. And here's the part that makes this insidious. When women express frustration, we know the label that's slapped on, they're labeled difficult. When they ask for support, they're told to lean in. When they name the inequity and inequality of this, they're accused of playing the gender card. And my friends, that's not feedback. That's institutional gaslighting. And it's one of the reasons women are exiting corporate environments at record speed. Another study showed that burnout among professional women has increased 38% in just 3 years. Not because women can't handle the work, but because they're doing everyone else's emotional work on top of it. And it's often while navigating biases, invisibility, and limited access to advancement. So we have to realize that this doesn't fall on a personal failure of the human being, the individual. It's a systemic one. And the women who see that clearly, they're not trying to fix the system anymore. They're exhausted, trying to fix the system, trying to educate the system. So we're building our own. And what this looks like in real life, well, let me tell you from what I hear from the women I coach over and over again. And when I was in corporate and when I was working for other individuals before I launched my own companies, I was part of these conversations as a team member and an employee. The I don't understand why I'm drowning because I'm really good at my job. So we do something in my coaching containers called an energy audit. And this is part 1 of my energy aligned business strategy framework, which links in the show notes if you want to take a look at it. What we do in this energy audit is we map where the energy is going, where your energy is going, and where it is coming from. And here's what always shows up. The women I coach, she's mentoring multiple people at work. She's the go-to for conflict resolution, emotional support, and career advice. She's essentially running an unpaid coaching practice inside of her job. And when I ask, who's mentoring you? It's generally met with massive amounts of silence. Their managers, they're giving them a rush quarterly review. HR, if you're at a corporation that has easy access to the human resources department, they offer generic leadership workshops. And no one is advocating for her promotions. And no one, I repeat, no one is opening doors. And I want to be clear here. I see this across all races. But for many women of color, the absence of sponsorship is even more pronounced. They're expected to be resilient, self-sufficient, and endlessly giving, while receiving fewer opportunities for visibility and advancement. She's giving mentorship to 12 people and receiving it from 0. And when she looks ahead, all she sees is more of the same. So there isn't any vision casting any future that is seeable for these women, for all women. All they see is more responsibility, more emotional labor, more people relying on her. And this is the moment that breaks my heart. When my clients start thinking that this is normal, when she thinks this is just how it is for women in corporate. That's what systemic conditioning does to a human. It convinces the exploited that they're the problem. But corporate isn't broken for women. It's optimized to use them. And that's why work-life balance isn't the solution. The real issue is energy imbalance. I've been saying this for years, and there's a reason why I saw this coming. Women are leaving corporate, not because they can't handle it, but because they're done being drained. I have been in the coaching business even before I exited successfully my beauty tech company. I started coaching in 2018. And the data to support it, it's out now. 45% of all businesses are female owned. A decade ago, that number was 20%, so it's consistently on the rise. Women are starting businesses at twice the rate of men. And women of color in particularly are increasingly choosing entrepreneurship as a way to reclaim autonomy, safety, and growth that corporate structures have failed to provide. And I can tell you, my friend, this isn't about passion projects. It's about survival. Women are tired of being everyone's mentor with no one to mentor them. And when they redirect that energy into their own businesses, everything changes. The wisdom they gave away for free becomes income. The emotional intelligence used to manage dysfunction, well, it becomes leadership. And the problem solving, it becomes innovation. But here's the part no one tells you. You don't magically heal the over-giving pattern just because you leave. That pattern has to be neurologically rewired. And that is the work that I do. There is a better way forward, but let's be clear about what the solution is not. I am so tired of the coaching business, traditional and spiritual, saying you need to set better boundaries. It's not better boundaries if it's inside a system designed to ignore the boundaries. And it's not leaning in harder, and it's definitely not blaming yourself, which so many women do. So many women are incredibly capable. So when we cannot see a solution, we try to find a solution within ourselves, which toxic-wise turns into blaming ourselves. Well, my friends, your data is not your anger. Your frustration is information, and burnout is your nervous system that's waving you a red flag left and right. And the answer isn't fixing yourself. Let's get that straight out there. You're not broken. You don't need to be fixed. It's the purpose of building something that actually supports you. And that starts with 3 things. Number 1, you need to audit your energy. So get a pen and paper out. Put this in your notes. Record this segment of the podcast so you can go back to it, or mark this so you can return. Number 1, audit your energy. Where is it going? And where is it being replenished? Number 2, redirect your mentoring energy. The mentoring energy, that wisdom is your business model. And number 3, build systems that support you instead of extracting from you. These 3 steps, this is energy aligned business strategy. It's not hustle, and it's not burnout recovery alone. It's a complete reorientation of how you work, lead, and build. If this episode felt like someone finally named what you've been living, please do yourself a favor and do the energy audit I shared today. And if you're ready to turn your burnout into something sustainable, supported, and aligned, enrollment for my next energy aligned business strategy cohort, it opens soon. You can reply energy in the DMs. I'd love to hear from you. Or click on the link down below in the show notes, and I'll make sure you get the details. Because your anger isn't a flaw, it's feedback, and it's pointing you towards something even better. If this episode made you feel seen, DM me and tell me, what are you supporting at work and what's supporting you? I see you and I believe you, and I know exactly how to help you build something better. Until next time, remember, your anger is information. I love you all so much. I'll talk to you next week.